Hi everyone, welcome into this week's My Weekly CBS Fix. Hope you had a wonderful holiday, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Sukkot. In this week's Parsha, Parshas Noach, the story of the flood, we're going to fast forward towards the end of the Parsha. At the end of the Parsha, we learn about the people who built the Tower of Babel. The Tower of Babel was mainly built by the evil Nimrod, who was the leader of the world at that time, in the sense that he was a king of sorts, and they decided to make a tower. And our sages tell us that one of the purposes for them making this tower was the fact that they were worried that the flood had just happened to the entire earth, and they thought that the heavens were unstable. And therefore they figured they got to make a good support beam from earth all the way up to the windows of the heaven, and they're going to Nasalo Smuchas, like Rashi says, quoting the Medrash. And that's what they were going to do, meaning that they had said that the flood occurs every 1656 years from the beginning of time, and therefore we have to start building now for the next one. Now, a lesson we have to learn from this is that we all know that the reason that Hashem made the flood was to teach the lesson in the world, the great principle of that there's no such thing as any wrongdoing going unpunished. Eventually, there is going to be punishment. Hashem only waits so long. Thankfully, in His kindness, He waits a long time, even 1,656 years. But nevertheless, at the end of the day, there's going to be recompense if people don't change their ways. Now, what did these people do? These people instead chose to build a tower because every 1,656 years, the windows of the heavens open up, the Tehom opens up, the bottom parts of the earth open up, they split open, and it floods the world. And so therefore, Hashem got upset. Hashem got upset because Hashem said, here I went and I destroyed the entire world, so you should learn the lesson that there's ultimately going to be punishment. Instead, you blame it on nature. The natural way that the world runs is that every 1,656 years, the world gets flooded. And Hashem said, you made me destroy the world for nothing. You missed the boat. And the lesson that we have to learn is that any time something happens in this world, whether it's our own personal lives or whether in general, if we blame it on anything else other than Hashem's plan, that He directed it and He guided it and He wanted it to be there for whatever reason, we are building a Tower of Babel. And a Tower of Babel actually stands for, Babel comes from the word confusion. Mabul also has the same root, Beis Lamed, which also is a confusion. And anybody who credits anything else other than Hashem for anything that happens in history is creating a Tower of Babel, a tower of confusion. And a Jewish person's mind is not allowed to be confused. It has to be straight. It has to be filled with Torah. It has to be able to think clearly. And if something happens, all the Holocaust studies, all the books that were put out, you'll read many books, but they're all missing the word G-O-D. That's gone from all the studies. And when the Twin Towers went down, why did it go down? It went down because the Arabs, the Muslims, the extremists, they're crazy. No. It went down because God wanted it to go down, maybe because America should learn a lesson. And what did they do instead? They put up another tower right there on the spot. The Freedom Tower. So now they missed the boat. They missed the lesson. It wasn't the Arabs that did it. It was God that did it. And so on and so forth with anything. Look around the world, what's happening today, whether it's forest fires, whether it's epidemics breaking out, whether it's floods, hurricanes. Hashem is talking, and if we blame it on anything else, we blame it on Trump, it's his fault, and we can blame it on ISIS, it's their fault, and we can blame it on the people who use gas engines because all the emissions are going into the world, it's causing global warming, and things are melting, it's causing havoc, and no. All that is built is a Migdal Bavel, a Tower of Babel, a tower of confusion, and everybody's becoming confused. Hashem gets upset at that. Don't let Hashem do these things for nothing. You miss the boat is the worst thing that a person not taking the lesson that Hashem wants you to glean is an undoing for us. Have a good Shabbos. Talk to you next week. Thank you for listening.